Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford. On the show this evening is the one and only AK, the legend that is GB, and the El Presidente, who's passed a late fitness test to join us, the one and only Bridgeman. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Evening, Oxford, Bridgeman, GB, and everybody that's listening.
Yep, good evening, everybody, and good evening to the lads on the panel tonight.
Can I just say a big good evening to yourself, Oxchair, and the techie team in the background, and of course my two compadres here, GB and AK. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, great result of the weekend, great result, very happy, and let's plod on. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yes, good evening, chaps. How are you, GB? Getting yourselves all set for your birthday treat tomorrow?
Hopefully tonight, Ox. I'll chance by him.
Okay, we'll get Fox to play a long tune then, mate.
On my case, sometimes a short tune, mate. I'm getting to that close spell, Ox. I've seen goodbye to the young team. I'll not be able to say that anymore. So, it's I'll be taking that step up to the plate where I'll have to be joining the rest of the team. And saying goodbye to the likes of young Robert and all that now, so I can't see him part of the young team anymore.
Yes, well, we can't all be like us, AK, stay young forever,
Just whatever they have in the water there, Ox. Happy birthday, GB, when it comes to you, mate.
All right, okay. Listen, it was very remiss of me, AK, last night on the show with All Bear and Southside. Do you know what I never mentioned?
What was that?
The Super Six.
Hitting the head with a crossbar again. He was unlucky, to be fair, wasn't he?
Aye, well, he got a run for his money, didn't he, the weekend? And at one time he had 5 out of 6, and then it went Pete Tong, so he ended up with 4 out of 6, yeah?
Well, how did he include West Ham?
Nah, I know, mate. But Bridgeman, there's always next week, yeah?
There's always next week, bud. I always love to look at that one. I like you saying that. That's really clever, brilliant. There's always next week.
Anyway, it wasn't a glamour tie by any manner of means, but there was some talking points at the weekend. GB, get your thoughts on it quickly, and same with AK next.
Well, a big talking point, Ox, was Fraserburgh, the way they conducted themselves. Absolutely fantastic. I think most clubs should be taking an example. Their book, Ox, came down, and by the way, plaudits to our players as well. I heard that they looked after the Fraserburgh players as well, exchanging shirts and all the rest of it. And then when you heard that interview after their manager, it was fantastic. A great day, I think, for all. And a good day for us. We've done the job. Ox got through to the next round, 5-0. Our third choice striker gets a hat trick. Couple of young boys stand out like Nasala. Munn, I think, actually had a good game apart from that wee shaky moment, but again, that would have just been nerves, I would imagine. Rice, I would have hoped he'd actually got more time, Ox, to be fair. We'd like to have seen a wee bit more of him, considering we're so far in front at parts of the game. And then, like say, there's other kind of wee negatives, like say McCausland. I think he's screaming for a low in Ox. I think he's needing game time. And King not even getting, like I says, any minutes was a kind of moment where I think he really needs to think about his future as well.
I don't think we've been fair to that boy, but that's a whole different debate. AK, how did yourself and the family enjoy the day, mate?
Aye, absolutely brilliant, mate. First experience there up in the Boy Sky Lounge, my dad and my boys, 3 generations. A wee treat for my dad. They celebrated their 52nd wedding anniversary yesterday. And my mum's
the picture Did you see the picture of me and Fox just as you went in?
Was that the dartboard?
No, it's because we're still barred, mate. We're still barred.
Wanted, up the wanted list. No, but the staff and everybody up in the Boy Sky Lounge was absolutely fantastic with my dad. Shout out to all of them for giving us the personal service. Obviously, my dad visually impaired, but they looked after him well in the disability section and the platform that they've got up there. The meal and everything was first class. And as Southside mentioned last night, I actually bumped into quite a few Fraserburgh folk up there who were made the best of their weekend. But as GB said, they're 1,800, they are visiting support, many more up taking advantage of the hospitality that we have. So a good day, good result, we're through to the next round.
Yes, I think a lot of the people from Fraserburgh will be there visiting their favourite club, if that makes sense, Bridge. But listen, I've got a theory, Bridge, on which would happen with away fans, but I'll come to that in a minute. But the two young boys that come on, Bridge, they would be the main talking point, wouldn't they?
I would say yes. I think they came on and I think they actually loved it. I thought they looked good. No problems whatsoever. No problem with any of the guys that come on. I just think I was so happy. I was just so happy. I watched them and I had no moans or groans going through my head at all. And apart from the goalkeeper, we start when the goalkeeper kicked that ball out there. And but no, I think Rangers were just great. And as I said a wee bit earlier, it's 5 going on 15, any number you want if we put our mind to it. A really, really good thing, and loved the interview with their manager. Just loved everything about it. Just superb. And when you said that about the Fraserburgh people, it's absolutely true what you were meaning. Because when I was working over at Chivas there, I used to go up north, and I was about maybe 6 or 7 of the boys working up there. They had Aberdeen season tickets, just so they can get to see the Rangers twice a season, and that's the truth. Just brilliant. I love it up there. Love it.
Aye, listen, I think sometimes what you see, apart from a couple of clubs I can think of off the top of my head, most away fans add atmosphere to a run, and a game of football. So I think it's a good thing. But here's my theory on it, right? Don't laugh. Please don't laugh, right? In the SPL, if there's 1,800 tickets, and I know they've all got financial constraints, but their fans are always shouting they want more seats, and they don't want to give your fans tickets. So if you have to have 1,800 or 1,200, whatever it is in a section, you have to pay for the tickets to the away club. There you go, radical. So they then have to put bums in seats. How's about that, Bridge?
What do you mean? But do you mean that if Rangers?
Look, we have that corner, for instance, against St Johnstone. There's about 20 fans there, and there's about 1,000 seats in that corner, AK, roughly 1,200, something like that. That wee corner odds, approximately. AK's left us. He's doing a Bridgeman.
I'm stuck on mute now. Aye, roughly, mate. I think you're right.
So we lose all these seats, all that revenue for 20 fans of St Johnstone. Now, I know they've got to be safe and all that. I get that. So if that's the seats they have to take, they should have to pay for them. There you go.
That, by the way, is absolutely fantastic. I love it. What we've got, let's say it's 700 seats, and I don't know how many it is. Let's say there's 700 seats available. If you want spots in there, you have to pay for 700 seats. And I think that's what you're meaning now, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's fabulous. Wonderful. Put it up there.
Yes.
Let's get it going.
Does that make sense, GB?
Aye, Ox, aye. I was just going to ask, what happened to the trial? Remember we were doing a trial a while back, and I think it was Livingston, we popped up into the rafters, and then we gave our fans all the seats, all the kind of away fan seats, so we could fill the place. That was meant to be a trial that if it wasn't going to be enough away fan tickets sold, then we would just gather them up and put them up in the, I think it was the club deck, wasn't it?
The St Johnstone fans, they could have sat in the dugout, AK, couldn't they?
Aye, there wasn't many of them. But no, it's a radical idea, and aye, listen, it makes the away support put bums on seats, as you're saying.
Aye, yes. Or their club gets a bill. Okay, yeah.
Aye, but as GB mentioned there too, we also put them up in the club deck, didn't we, last season? And we actually filled the corner ourselves, so you can do it that way, I suppose.
But whatever allotted sections they get, we should pay for the seats. There you go.
Yes, aye, quite right.
Aye, all right. Just something. Just when we're thinking when Fraser brought it, you're right to congratulate their support. However, right, the two young boys, but that's gone quickly. And obviously the news broke the night, just about tea time there, I think just after tea time, that Alex Rowley had left the club. And he'll go with our best wishes. And the boys had a difficult time. Obviously he's young. His mum is a very young man, so it took his toll on him. And we wish him all the best. I don't think he was going to make it with us. And I just think the game's too physical. And I wonder how he got on where he's went to Wigan Wanderers in that league, which is obviously the old third division, as you would know at Bridgeman. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes on, the hustle and bustle.
Yes, and the big scrapes down the back of the leg and things like that, it'll all happen. It'll all happen.
Aye, so he goes with our best wishes. Undisclosed fee, I think his contract's up in the summer. We'll go maybe after wage bill early, saved a few quid, maybe got a few quid in, and we move on and we wish him all the best. AK.
I reiterate the words, Ox. I don't think there's a Rangers supporter out there that would wish him ill, particularly for what he's went through at such a young age, losing his mum. That couldn't have been easy. But listen, if he needs a change of scenery to kind of get his career back on track, and he does show the ability that he did show in fleeting appearances for us, then good luck to him. And whether that's be at Wickham or where he actually finds, I think he might be more suited abroad. You know that, Oxy, maybe going to Holland or something, or Belgium, or maybe even Spain, just somewhere where he's completely, out the way, and he can concentrate on his football and make a new life for himself, sort of thing. But good luck to him anyway.
GB.
I just echo what you have said. Best wishes. He had all the talent in the world, Ox. I just think it was probably the wrong timing for him. He just couldn't get that kind of run of games, and then that game against Hearts, you think when he scored, you're thinking that that's maybe him, that he's hit that kind of bit where he's going to kick on, and it just never materialised for him. So, he goes, Ox, and hopefully, like I says, he can build a career that maybe one day works his way back to Rangers. You know what I mean? Because he's got, like I says, he's very talented with the ball and that, Ox. He can hit a shot and stuff. So, I just hopefully it's maybe this development that he's actually needing, and as you have said, maybe in a harder league and in a man's game, then he'll become a better player.
Aye, we'll see where it goes, But the two young boys that came on at the weekend, I enjoyed watching them. I know the opposition, and I get on that, but they've done the basics. They've got a physicality about them, and in the pecking order, they might be moving rapidly up it, and they look as if they're both 18, I believe, or 17 and 18. They're moving on. They're no babies, however, they're still young men, and look, they could go on and start fighting for shots, and that would be magnificent. I'm not saying they're going to be stalwarts. Don't want to put too much pressure on them, AK. But what we've seen, they've shown they've got ability, the two of them, in the snapshot we've seen.
We're talking Finlay Curtis and
Yes.
Rice here, yeah.
Yes.
Aye, no, they did, particularly Finlay Curtis. I thought he came on and really contributed, a couple of shots at goals. He was very positive running at the player. Bailey Rice held himself in the midfield. I thought Connor Barn actually had a very good game at the weekend, and Ciala strolled through the game, so did Proper. I thought it was comfortable, but I'll give credit to the shape Fraserburgh, particularly that first half. I seen here a lot of criticism. The first half, it's embarrassing, not good enough for Rangers. I'd rare give credit to Fraserburgh. You know, the 5-3-2 in their own half, they were compact and they made it difficult to play through. But, you know, the Dessers miss aside, I thought we were pretty decent in the first half. You know, the grazed bar effort for Tavernier for distance. McCausland cleared one off the line, and obviously we scored for a corner. So, all in all, I thought it was a good exercise.
That's what it was, mate. It was a training match. It wasn't a great watch, Bridge, was it? You know,
No.
It
Sorry.
was a training match, you know.
Yeah, I think that we're under no illusions as Rangers fans, and we're ultra critical at the moment in general. But to be honest, Fraserburgh weren't going to beat us. It was just a case. They were trying to make sure they don't get embarrassed. That's what they were. And I think the first half, like it's been said, they done their business. They held the ball very well. They forced some strange moves from the Rangers players, but nevertheless, I think Rangers they strolled through the game, and I don't think anybody was that worried. Once we get the first goal, I don't think there was no way they're going to do anything apart from the wee fear, as I say, the wee scare rather, with our goalkeeper, a wee bad pass there could have caused us a problem, but it wasn't like it. So I was delighted with Rangers, absolutely delighted.
And what's my centre half expert thinking about my new centre half? The young boys come in Salah, mate. What's your initial thoughts on him, mate? As he goes?
Well, I've said this the last number of games I've watched him. He's coming on. He's getting the confidence, and if we can, keep playing him. Just keep playing him. The difficulty is going to be against in really tough games that we know they're tough. Would we want to put him through the mincer with there? I just don't know. Personally, I would play him, and he's got to have a decent partner. Let's put it that way. He's got to be Big Balogun or somebody like that. Or Suter's not going to be available, I doubt it. But if it's Balogun that's in with him, Proper did quite well with him as well. But we don't know if they two are injured, in which case you're going to end up with King or somebody like that in the centre back. And sorry, against Man United, that's not very good, is it? So, yeah, I think Enciel is a marvellous wee player. Oh, I love it. I love the left foot. I just love it.
Wee player, mate. I don't know.
6 feet 2, isn't he? 6 feet 2, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean his age. It's his age. Nothing else, you know.
I get it. Inexperienced, young, I get it. Yeah. Listen, him and Jeffy again showed up well in a bounce game, Mickey. But Bridges got a point. We'll be interested to see what the pairing is on a Thursday evening,
I think he's really only got one option, you know. Providing Balogun's okay, I think it's got to be him and Proper. All right.
I'd like to know what's actually happened with Sterling, mate. You know,
I know.
The Hibs game, he's just disappeared, no?
Aye, with the journalists that had the opportunity of the presser don't seem to ask him any questions. So, and until somebody does, we're completely in the dark. But I think we would all like to know, because I believe he kind of walked off with a kick in the foot. And what was that? About 3 weeks ago now? Over 3 weeks ago, for the last seen him. So aye, you're right there.
You know, so it'll be interesting to see what happens, and obviously with the lineup will be, and obviously in Salah's not in the European squad, GP. So yeah.
I was just going to ask you that. Just bumped it.
Mr. Fox made a point, I think, so maybe because he's a youth player, but I'll see if I can dig that up, see what the rules are on that, but I'm not sure. But it'll be interesting. Right, GB, we better get his phone lines opened,
Aye, get them open, Docs.
All right, okay. Look, we're going to start turning our game with attention to tomorrow night, but there's been a lot of chat about Ingerman, and obviously before Dessers come in and scored a hat-trick, but Ingerman's been in the last couple of months. Him and Raskin have just came to the fore in my squad, you know, and obviously Ingerman and Raskin have been a short one day, a big game at Old Trafford. against one of the top teams in the EPL. Look, everybody's got their price. What are you thinking? Where do we go? Do you stick or twist? Crazy money? Does it talk? You know, we always want to keep our best players. As fans, we're selfish. It'd be interesting to get people's thoughts on it. Get the phone lines opened, and then I'll start with you, GB. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
GB.
Hi, Ox. I think if you're going on the basis of you're talking about the transfer one day and what would happen with Igaman and stuff like that, I think we've got to take the money. If it's a right decent offer, we've just got to cash in.
What's decent in the GB world?
Well, I would say 15 million, Ox.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think if he got offered 15, because he's not fully proven yet, but if he's shown it in a game like, say, Man United, he's been shown it in the previous European games, and he's obviously scoring in our league, then I would say that's probably good enough to get you to that kind of number.
15 million a day? And if it's a good game, what is it, Friday morning?
Well, if he scores a hat-trick by Friday morning, mate, I think we jumped that up to about 20, didn't we? For potential-wise. But no, I think no matter what, Ox, I think he's great for us. He's playing really well. I'd love us to hold on to him and see the end product. But I don't think we'll get to see it, Ox. I just think we need to cash in. And the thing we can have hope for is that the way our recruitment has been with these players like Yefty, you've mentioned there, Nasala and Gamai and that we've actually done really well in the transfer market. So we can probably trust the management side of things that they can go out and maybe find another gem like an Igaman or another Yefty or something like that. So no, I'm cool with it. If we need to cash in, Ox, I think we're in this point in time where the club needs a cash injection. So, and it will help us with this financial fair play. So if anything comes in at all, then we've got to take it now. Especially again, as we talked about with Dessers. Again, if the money's right, Ox, we've got to let him go.
So what's the money right for Dessers? He just scored a hat-trick. Did he got with 5 million?
I wouldn't see, be honest, Ox, with him, I think it's just more the age. He's kind of peak. Peak, what is it? Money.
Come on, what's the money right? What's the right money for Dessers?
3 million. I would take 3 million for him.
Right. Well, you're a sensible bloke. I get it, man. Same questions to the one and only GB again. AK, then we'll go to the bridge. AK. Tricky ones.
Well, it's no easy. That's football. It's business decisions and when to sell at the right moment. Obviously, we've had that badly wrong in the last few years. I can get where GB's coming from, but I can't agree with his sentiments. I think we learn from the past. In the aspect, I think we sold Patterson far too early, although we get decent money. I thought we sold Bassey kind of early as well. Again, that was very good money. But we didn't sell Morelos, we didn't sell Kane, we didn't sell, Lundstrom and all that when people were meant to be sniffing around about them. So it's not an easy one.
I must have missed people sniffing around Lundstrom. Must have missed that.
So they were quoted, particularly after we got to the European final. That I think a few German clubs were reportedly interested in them, shall we say. Igamani, after 6 months, we're going to sell him for 15 million. I think we take the gamble. I think we try and build a team if we can. At least get a year, 2 years out of
I thought history teaches you. Morelos, Kent.
Aye, I know, but who's to say if Igamani scores a double or whatever at Old Trafford, his reputation goes through the roof and he's field double? Who's to say? This is a gamble.
What happens if he trips through his laces the way off the pitch and does his knee in?
Everything's a possibility, particularly at our club. But it's not an easy answer. I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer, to be honest with you. GB's gave you figures there plucked out the sky. It's not to say that somebody's tracking them for that money. They might be looking for less. When you see the Italian club testing the water with Motherwell for Lennon Miller, £2.5 million, that's just stupid if they even consider that. So they knock that back. So you've got to get it right, weigh it up. But I think 6 months.
That's a lot of dough. If that's cash in the bank, that's a lot of dough for Motherwell, mate.
You're not going to get 15 million cash in the bank, no Ox. You know what it's like. It's going to be over 4 years probably. So 3-4 million a year. I think you're still looking to get rid of your Dessers, your Danielos, your Matondos, Lawrence, Dowles. I think you need that.
And tell me how you get rid of Lawrence for a fee because his transfers up, and tell me who's going to take Dowell. If Dowell will be on a loan, mate. Yeah, this is the problem, mate. The players you want ready and the players you can get ready are two different questions, buddy.
Right, correct.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Yep, I agree with that.
I get it, mate. There's a few that I would like to drive and shake hands and say, look, you had a go, it didn't work out, see you later, yeah. It frustrates you, and they're taking big wages for very, very little return. But Bridgman, you can't do that. Bridgman, you can't do that as a young boy. Younger man now, can you?
Well, I was asked last week, and I says that I would be looking for 20 million for that boy, providing he keeps scoring goals, If he doesn't score goals, he gets through a lull, then you can forget it all, because people are not going to go and come to see him if he's going through a lull and he can't get the ball in net. Because we've got one in Dessers, because we paid a couple of £1 million for him. So, but Igamani, the way he's playing, he's a really good player, and he brings people into the game, and he's got a lovely shot on him, and he scores goals. Simple as that. He can head the ball, he can score goals, and people enjoy watching him, and that's a really good thing. For me, I'd be looking for, if it keeps going the way it's going. If it was tomorrow and somebody was coming in, then I think we would jump at the chance of getting 15 million, most assuredly. People might come in early to try and get for a lot less than we think. But we should be looking for, I would say, the target for him, based on what we know. I know it's a bit early, 20 million quid. I'd be looking for this season for him.
Aye, obviously. If you take this season, him and I think Dessers is ahead of him in the goal scoring charts, bizarrely, however, that's not everything. AK, you're also buying potential with this guy, and if you're selling for a strong point with somebody, so I think it's about 4.5 years he's got left his contract. So we're in a strong position. Now, what we don't know the other terms in that contract. But let's just say it's a straight contract and we've got him, mate. So if you do get him and you think it's all about getting it right, if we don't, somebody might loan him back to you for a year or two, or you might get a big selling on fee if you get it right, or you might have a double selling on fee going forward. It's always there's always a tipping point where you've got to think, South Side, do you cash out or do you not cash out, mate? You know what it's like every Saturday.
Exactly. Deal or no deal, isn't it? It's one of them. But listen, Igamani, you're right, Dessers has scored more than him this year, but Igamani's got 4 in Europe, and that makes him a valuable asset to us, and that's the big difference between the two. There's a big difference between scoring 3 against Fraserburgh or 4 in Europe, and that's the thing. I just see it from the point of view for the manager. How is he meant to build a team to get a success if we keep taking away his assets for him? So that's a big decision. It's not just a Clement decision or a Patrick Stewart decision or the chairman decision. That's a collective decision which best to go forward with.
Aye, they've got to take all the emotion into it, and do what's best for the club. Us as fans, we bought into it emotively, aren't we? It's a different decision for us, Anyway, talking about emotion, we've been joined by the one and only Cal for Southend on his mad phone. How are we doing, Cal?
I'm doing all right, Ox. I was just going to say, until you say that, I hope we haven't got a stupid buyout clause on his contract.
Oh, Cal's throat. That must be his personal best.
Oh, brilliant, Cal.
prefer it when he shouts, "Oh, God," but he's dropped a rope with that.
He made his point, though.
He made his point. GB, you can take that
Hello,
one.
the person you're calling
Oh.
isn't around right now. At the tone.
Carry on, GB.
Aye, no, the whole Ega Man thing, it's hard, Docs. Like I said, I would love to see him get be the one that's there scoring goals and winning his titles and stuff like that. But I mean, you see the financial figures, Rocks, that we're getting hit with in the summer there, and how dire the transfer window's been. I think we've just got to use that money and trust that the manager will be able to find another gem.
I will say, mate. And also it depends what the boy wants to do. I think Carl's back with us. All right, Carl?
Aye, I'm going to be out for 4 weeks if they're towing that phone right against the wall.
We're going to start a GoFundMe page and get you a decent phone.
I can't. Don't make me gay. It's pathetic, man. I'm paying 37 quid a month for this crap.
I think you've been done, AK.
That sounds like a Ross Wilson deal.
Aye, because we're taking Lawwell deal. I've got. I'm away again, ain't I? Oh, bugger this, man. Sorry, lads, I didn't mean to say that, but I'm going. This is driving me up the pole. Okay, bye.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Right. We all go a score each, get my new phone. Oh, brilliant. You couldn't make it up, could you? You couldn't make it up. Carl, great to hear from you, mate. I think you've got a good point there, GB. You know, it'll all be. Listen, the last thing I want to do is keep an unhappy player, right? And I think if somebody wants to go, football teaches you if somebody wants to go, doesn't matter who they are, you've got to move on. The boy seems happy. I like him. I'd like him to stay forever if he turns out a top player for us. But I'm realistic to realise the way things work, you know. And it's a big call, bridge, isn't it?
Yeah, going back to a wee bit that you said there. But look, but what we don't want to get a Morelos and a Kent situation. I mean, for me, they were really good players for us, and then all of a sudden they stopped being good players. They just wanted to see a contract out, and which was crap. It was really rubbish for us, you know. But I don't want that. If the club and the Gamani want to agree to sort of part company, then go and get a deal for them, you know, and make it worth our while. Geez, we need to do that. We could do with the money, of course, you know, but for goodness sake, don't keep it dragging on and end up as we said. You know, if you get somebody like a situation like Kent had, you just don't know. Then you know, you just don't know what's going to happen. I don't want that. I want the boy Egamani to keep going the way he is. He's playing absolutely brilliant for us. He came through injury. He's done everything. So as far as I'm concerned, he's a top player for us, and he would be the first man in my team sheet, and that's for sure.
Aye. What would you catch it with Morelos and Kent at the time, AK? And it's an if there was offers on the table.
Yes. Yep.
So how would you not cash out with Egerman?
Because Morelos was at the club at that time, 3 years, I think, at the time. And I think Kent was maybe about 18 months, 2 years down the line, wasn't he?
His first year in Owen, wasn't he?
Aye. But we've seen what we got off him, and he contributed to success in the team. Egerman no contributed any success to the team. And that's how I felt a wee bit as if we were selling the family silver when we get rid of Patterson after 6 months. And that's just the feeling that I had with it. The boys, I'd have liked to have seen them there longer than what we had. Although it was good money, getting the money for that, you know.
Well, I think we cashed it right in Patterson in hindsight.
Well, he's been unlucky with injuries, though, to be fair, Ox.
Aye, in hindsight, I think we cashed it right, you know. Aye, it's mental. It's decisions you've got to make. And you're right and wrong in these twists, and it's big decisions, and you don't know, GB, because you can't predict the future.
No, we can't, Ox. And by the way, there might not be teams that come in. Maybe like says there's enough of these boys that are out there on the continent that they can go and find themselves. You know what I mean, it's as we've seen like in other teams that although you score goals, it doesn't always say that the big teams are going to come for you. You know what I mean? So, and even these other teams across the city and stuff like that, well, it says goals have been scored and they just came sniffing at them. So, I think it just depends on. Like a man, let's say he's probably came to our club, Ox, and he's already on life-changing money for him. And again, if somebody else comes in and is giving even more, then yeah, as much as you love the club, Ox, money talks, doesn't it?
Aye, it's a funny one. So, give your thoughts, mate. It would be good to hear from what people think on it. It's a tricky one, AK, isn't it? But if people want to join us, give their thoughts on it, because we don't want to put him under a lot of pressure, because let's be honest, 6 months ago, nobody had really heard of him, apart from us who we signed this boy that we hadn't seen. But he's come in, he's an entertainer, and he scores goals, and so they're hard to find.
Absolutely. Aye, they're worth their weight in gold alone. I seen a wee report there actually that Malik Tillman, Bayern Munich are actually showing interest because he's doing so well for PSV. They might be buying him back for 35 million, and we might get a wee slice of that cake again. So it's aye. that
must have been
a good deal for us.
That must have been some complicated deal, wasn't it?
I know. Aye, because I think Bayern gave us £1 million just to kind of step aside and let them get 10, 11 million for him to go to PSV. Now we're getting another 10% if he does go back there. So we've done all right out of a player that was never ours, but it just shows you the money that can be made on these guys. You touched on last night about the Haaland thing. You know, a 10-year contract, 230. There's something going on there that they know about, don't they, that none of the rest of us know about now?
Well, Bridges got that one on here, 10-year contract. He's got 3 weeks left, didn't you, Bridge?
Yeah, absolutely.
The same money.
Save money, exactly.
Save
maybe
money.
less.
I don't think that's possible, Bridge.
You know, I go back to the thing with Igamani at the moment. I don't think there's anybody else in the team that would get the value you would get for that boy, in my opinion. There's other young boys coming through. You might get them. They might build up and go with it. But the quality, you can see the quality is bursting out of that boy. He's just got to be able to do it all and do it against all the better teams in the league. And don't do any games where he really fluffs his lines. You don't want anything like that. That's what you don't want. Let him play his game and give him all the support he can, and you'll see a star. You'll see a star.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and we might be having these conversations about a few of our young players, because if we're honest, Jeffrey's shown promise. I know he's raw and he's made mistakes, and he's had some stinking games, but it looks as if he's slowly developing. And Salah's come in for nowhere, GB, and these guys, because of their age, people will be looking at potential, and they might move quickly, which is mad, because we've never heard of them. And the same argument for them. I'd like them to stay and develop and be great players for us, but I'm also realistic.
Mm-hmm. I Hawks, in the situation we're in now, we've got to kind of rebuild in a sense. We've got to make money and get ourselves into a steady platform where the player trading model's working, Ox, and if these boys need to be sold, or if there's any interest at all and it's decent money and we can get a good, like AK's saying there with the Tillman King, if we've got a good kind of sell on or buyback or whatever, then there's money still to be made after the leave, Ox. And by the way, it might not be even just the Premier League, Ox. It's looking at them. You look at that Championship, what the money they're chucking about and stuff like that. So it's not just to say that the Premier League teams, the kind of bottom rung of them, they'll be looking at them. It could be, the likes of the Championship, it can come in and spend 15 million on a young prospect, knowing that if they go to play for them, there's a potential that the Premier League will chuck 50 million at them at some point. I mean, it's that kind of dough that you're dealing with, Ox. And unfortunately, I just think that we're in a position where we can't say no now, unless I say the manager is really desperate to hold on to him. But I think,
but if you look, the Championship clubs don't spend that money, mate.
well, like you say, you're spending sometimes 8, 10. Again, I think sometimes we might be getting our resolve pushed, Ox. You know what I mean?
Nah, they don't. When they spend that money, 8K is when they get that promotion. Yeah, they don't. That's a hard league, innit?
Oh, aye. But there's also a few clubs subject to the PSR. And thing, I think Leicester was breaching them, and Nottingham Forest breached it last year. But they, you know what I mean, miss out a couple of points, just so you can get a guaranteed quality player to come in your ranks. I mean, it's a wee bit of jiggery pokery that's went on there, Ox, and it's beneficial to them this season. Put it that way.
I read an article that Birmingham were, as a business, were maybe glad they went down. They could then get the players in that they wanted, so that they were further up in their business plan, but they didn't have the constraints that they would have in the Championship.
Yep.
They were able to bring in players they wouldn't have been able to bring in the Championship. That seems mental, innit?
Exactly, and I think Wrexham are the exact same, because they're in their lower leagues, they're outside the PSR perimeters. The clubs that cover the first 2 leagues in England, so they're basically allowed to spend what they want up to a point, up until they get promotion into the top leagues. So it's all these governing bodies, they're wanting a slice of the cake just to stop a kind of freedom of movement, so to speak. And you look at the transfer industry right across Europe, and now we're nearly at the end of January. Where's all the big moves and all the big leagues, all the clubs? There hardly any, and that's because of financial fair play, the stuff that we've been going about for the start of the season.
Mr. Fox predicted maybe 3 years ago, and you know how wise he is. Either that is your crystal balls, right? So he predicted that transfers would slowly disappear because the players and their agent would rather they would take the slice of the pie.
Yep.
And the contracts would change, and but you see it's all slowing down, and they're talking about it every day on Sky Sports. There's hardly any movement because they always go about this domino effect. AK.
Yeah, and it's the players and the agents they're sucking all the money out again, and the money's no filtering down the pyramid system, and you're losing a lot of the lower league clubs because of it. It's no right. The rich clubs are getting richer, and you're losing clubs because of it.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's looking for the bargains, GB. Yeah?
Ox, and unfortunately that's where we come in, isn't it? I mean, they're looking at it where they can maybe snatch up a decent player for us for a cheaper fee. Like you says, bottom rung, maybe a team that's getting relegated or something like that's getting that parachute payment, and we'll be able to go and spend 10, 15 million. And it's just that way. We've just got to brace ourselves. But again, I think we're building, Ox, that we're going to be able to handle it, if you know what I mean. I think the recruitment side's getting better. And I think we're always got to be looking now, especially now that we've seen the likes of what you can find in the Moroccan League, further afield as well, like say Nasala, in these academies, these teams like AC Milan and stuff like that. There's boys there that are probably hungry to start their career, Ox, and it's just about us trying to find it and tap into it.
Aye. I think in an ideal world, if we're honest, we would always like Scottish boys to come in with the same background as the rest is. Yeah, but however, you've got to be sensible and you've got to do what's right for the club, I tell you.
Oh, 100%. If you look, I know it's not a lot, but if you look at Rangers right now, and I thought really good performance by us, and got goals and so on and so forth, and brought some youngsters onto the game. And we're going to go to Manchester, and I don't know what kind of team we're going to have. But if our team plays well at Manchester, then we're exposed they're exposed to the European Europa League rather, and potentially with a bit of luck they get themselves automatically into the last 16. Now that would be unbelievable, considering the way we've been playing for the last maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So it's been up and down. But all these players, young players included, if they do well at Old Trafford, they're going to look absolutely fantastic in the European theatre, I hope. And then the questions will be asked. They'll come running to our door because they know they don't have to pay 60 million. Do you know what I mean? They can maybe get a player for 10 or 12, maybe even 20. But that's what will happen. I believe sincerely. But we've got to play well. If we play well against Man United, then we'll be okay. And as long as we don't get beat, as far as I'm concerned, we should be okay, and we'll get in automatically. But maybe somebody could tell us that's not quite true.
We're going to encourage people to phone in, but I'm going to ask you three gentlemen this, and I say gentlemen loosely because none of the three, I think, there's only GB's a gentleman out of three. If I'm honest.
Oh, what a sook! What a sook!
Yeah, if I'm honest, mate. Yeah.
Is that because it's your birthday?
No. I'm basing that. I'll tell you what I'm basing that. I'm basing that in records. Your singing record and Bridges' criminal record.
That's fair enough.
Mine's is bad. I must say.
Right. However, did anybody when that draw came out? We always hoped, yeah. And I expect Rangers to win every game, but I'm realistic enough to. There's sometimes we're no favourites. Like I don't think we're favourites even against a team on Thursday night that's not playing great. I don't think we're favourites because of the quality of opposition we play every week. But we've got a chance. However, when you saw that draw, did anybody expect us to be fighting to get a place automatic in the last 16? AK.
To be honest with you, an automatic place I thought would have been beyond us, but our European record in recent years has been excellent. So, no an automatic place, but I was hopeful for progression.
Yeah, we're always hopeful, mate. And then once you get so far, 2022 could happen again, mate. You know, you get a tremendous result. And you beat an equivalent of Dortmund, and the whole thing opens up for you. It's mental.
You never know. You never know. I tell you, if you cast your mind back, though, Southside actually picked off where points were available was for us, and he's been proved right with a few of them.
Aye. But listen, I hope I'm not kicking myself that we should have won in Athens.
Aye.
We should have won in Athens, let's be real honest. What about yourself? Same question to you, GB.
Aye, Ox, when the draw was made, I mean, it was our Sky Sports that were saying it was a Champions League group. I mean, it wasn't a Europa League group. I thought most of the games we would probably be kind of cannon fodder a wee bit, just the way we started the season. But the Malmo game gave me hope. That game was the kind of turning point for our European exploits again. I was like, as much as Malmo weren't the team of old, but again, we had to kind of break that record at that point, Ox, and show that what it is we weren't going to keep getting beat after them and stuff. So I think that night showed that there was a team there that could actually do something, and it was something to build on, and we have. Strangely enough, we've kept building in the European competition.
What about yourself, Bridge?
Well, I think I'm really, really happy. Can I just say that? I didn't have fears because I didn't think we were actually going to do it, and not even getting as far as we've got. I'm delightfully surprised, and I'm over the moon. As I just said a wee while ago, if we can go to Manchester United and play well, just play well against Manchester United, without even as a 0-0 draw, if we can get that kind of thing, then that's a tremendous result for us. But we know that Manchester United are not playing at their best at all, but they're still they're playing a quality league, and they're doing no bad in the league, let's put it that way, for having a poor team. Personally speaking, I want Rangers to win Thursday night. That's what I want. If they can win there, then things can open up for us. If we get beat, well, I don't know how we're going to stand then, insofar as are we going to get through to a playoff? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But please please, Rangers, don't go down there and leave yourself short. Just go there and play what you can and do it, because we've had a fantastic turn in the Europa League this year. Brilliant. I mean, absolutely great for us, and I love it.
3 out of 6 points puts us in a decent place, AK, doesn't it?
Aye, wonderful.
Aye.
Currently, by the way, before we move on, what was your own thoughts, Ox? Did you, at the start of did you think
I thought it'd be very tough, mate. I looked at it. We had never beaten a Swedish team, with Malmo, in a competitive game, home or away, mate.
Yeah.
So
right.
You're saying this will be tricky, and you looked at. I didn't give anything against the 2 APL teams, and let's be really honest, we should have beat Spurs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah,
we should have
beat Spurs. We should have been sitting with 4 more points. We should, always, bizarre as it is, mate, and saying 3 out of 6 is a chance of getting us in the top 5 in that group is mental. But and then I looked at Nice, Olympiacos, bizarre as it is. Greece has never been a happy hunting ground for Scottish clubs. Yeah, I thought, well, that'll be difficult. We should have won. I looked at Nice, the French league, and there's an EPL team being beat with a French league team tonight. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's going to be difficult. Also knew that Lyon would be difficult, but I was hoping we could do something at home. And we have done all right at home, really. We've took points at home and played all right. And even the bizarre, we got a wee bit of doing against Lyon. That was a bizarre game, and there was big moments in it, and we missed chances, and we gave away the goal with young Conor Barron when we were back in it, and it could have been a different night. But we deserved to get beat out of the piece, so we took it on the chin and we moved on. So they've really, really surprised me, mate. I didn't think we'd have this number of points. So to answer the question, I was the same as you. No, I thought it'd be difficult where we were, and our form was not great, and with bad form, no so bad form, and then we played in Europe and got a result. And I think that's where a lot of the frustrations have came for you, Kate.
Aye, no, I agree with that. It's sensible comment, Oxia. We've punched above our weight in Europe, definitely, and I think that's where the frustration kick in. But we can't go away from him domestically to a Dundee or a Motherwell or a Hibs or that. But we can go to Olympiacos and Nice, Malmo, be comfortable. It's a different style of football, though, isn't it? It's no the low block. They're actually coming out to look to win the game. Just the same. So that style of football probably suits us. That's the only thing I can put it down to.
Aye. Come on, the listeners, if you're out there, are you the same as us, or were you confident we get through? Yeah, it's outside Mike phone is, and I'm always confident we'll get through. But his nose might poke us in the eye, but he's also realistic. But listen, it's been a good adventure, and you want it to keep going, because obviously it's important, GB. Profile of the club, profile for the fans. You never know what can happen, and also financially.
Profile for these players, young players as well, Ox. I mean, that says that I think most clubs will look at our players more than Europe than they will in the SPFL. So, money for the club's mega, Ox. Like I says, we just need to keep wins and keep progressing through, and it keeps getting bigger. The pot keeps getting bigger, Ox. So, I hope a wee draw on Thursday. A win would be amazing. But a point, and then we go into that kind of last game, and hopefully we can grab the 3, and then we can progress on from there and see what happens.
I'm really looking forward to Thursday night. Let's be honest, it's one of the biggest 2 clubs in British football clashing, historically. And I don't think it's had the place or the what it's deserved in the media at the moment. But hopefully that'll come as the days tick by. But however, the 2 is only maybe the forces we'd like to be at this moment in time. But I'm sure we'll get there. I don't really care about them, if I'm honest, Bridge.
Bridges had to nip out there.
He's just nipped it. He's just same to you, AK. Same to you.
Aye, no, you're right. You're right. Big club, Man United. You know, the worldwide brand and that. But as we know, they've been in turmoil since Ferguson. You know, they've been through quality managers. They've spent, I believe, 1.4 billion on their team for players. You know, the managers that they've had, and it's been very good managers. Mourinho and Van Gaal, Solskjaer, Ten Hag. Obviously, they're on to a new regime now with Ruben Amorim. So they're looking. He's probably in a similar situation to what Ferguson was all the years ago, where he had to weed out the players that he didn't want and get in the players that he did want. But he's got to, obviously, the constraints of the budget. Well, no, not the budget, but the constraints of the players digging in their heels, their own big contracts, and he's got to try and find a solution. But that's where they are, and that's their problem. He's only took 11 points in the APL for 11 games for he's come in, but their home record is a place where I think we can take advantage. See, we get an early goal, as Southside suggested that last night. I think that they can turn right on their team and put them under pressure. And I think that's where teams of late, they've only won 4 out of they've lost 4 out of their last 5 home games. I think
they should have lost to Southampton as well, mate. If we're really
they were 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go, and Diallo scored a 12-minute hat trick there, didn't he? So they're really under pressure at home.
That doesn't tell the story. It wasn't 1-0 down. They should have been more down, mate. The game should have been done.
Yeah. Well, their goal led a Charlton life, but that tells you that they're not in a great place. You know, they're a team full of great players, but they don't play as a team. And I think that's where hopefully we can take advantage of that.
Is this the bizarre thing that this manager's doing, GB? And I know the manager, it's not the time or the place to debate the manager, but because look, everybody's got their own personal thoughts on it. And I think I know yours, mate. But is this what the manager's doing? We've at the moment, we've got great players like we once had. We've got potential. We've got some really guys that are growing. Like Raskin looks as if he could play at a higher level. We'll get Egerman, and we'll see with the rest go on their journey. However, but when he gets it right, is he built a team rather than just these great players?
I agree with that. I think he has. He's managed to galvanise them at times, especially against, let's say, Celtic and that. You were thinking we're going into there to have a hard day, and they totally showed up. I mean, they showed that they were together, and again after it, and that how they celebrated and stuff. So, he's built a team. He's gave them belief, especially in this competition, this European competition. So, I think they go down there with probably no fear, Ox. You know what I mean? Because everybody's probably expecting us to get beat off of Man United. But the good thing is their manager is stubborn and determined to play his system. He's wanting them to get an understanding of his new way, and he's not got to change until they get it right. So that again might give us this wee door for an Egerman to get his wonder goal or something like that, you mean, or Yefty maybe put one away. So I think there's opportunities there, Ox, and I agree with with the manager that I think in the European competition he's got them galvanised and eager to show their talents.
Interesting thoughts, but you 2 gentlemen, we're going to go for a tune. I'm going to ask you, what would your teams be on Thursday night when we come back? So get yourself a mute, because we're going to have a tune.
Talk to me of glory's past, of the famous rain.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, gentlemen.
Yep.
Right, okay. Who wants to go first? It would only be right that we let the birthday boy go first. What do you think, AK?
Yes, honours given to you, GB.
Thank you, boys. Is this so you can scrutinise it?
This will be the biggest treat you'll get in the next couple of days.
I'll savour it, Ox. I'll savour it. Right, aye. So my team, I'll probably go similar to how we set up against Tottenham, Ox. The only kind of change really will be if Butland isn't going to be fit for it. So it'll be Kelly in goals, Tav, Balogun, Proper, Yefty. Then we'll have Raskin, Diomande, Cherny, Brajami, Yilmaz, and Igaman up front.
There's a schoolboy error in there, isn't there? Do you want to point it out to him, AK?
Diamande suspended, guys.
Well, Barn then. Barn's got to go in there.
AK.
Very much in the same lines as what GB's got there. I thought we might have seen Butland at the weekend, but I'm assuming that he's not going to be fit for Thursday. So got to go Kelly in goals, Tav, Balogun, Proper, Yefty, Raskin, Barron, Ridvan. I'm going to put in there ahead of Yefty, Bajrami, Cherny, and Igaman.
I think I would go with AK's team. Yeah. Who did you have on the left, GB? Remind me.
Yilmaz up front, on the left, with Yefty behind him.
All right.
Same team then.
Same team then, aye.
You just said Yilmaz instead of Ridvan.
Aye.
The same player.
Postman, Pat Postman, yeah.
So these Brajamis and Yefty and Iggermans, Chernies, Christ almighty. Is Tom Tusters in this team now?
Aye, okay. So listen, if anybody's out there thinks different, it would go different. Or thinks it'll be different. Come and join us, 0141 356 1972. Give your thoughts. What's your hopes and aspirations? What are you thinking? Listen, it's not going to be easy, but we know where they are, and these guys have shown if they get space, they can score goals. There was a criticism at the start of the season about they scoring goals. Even though we've not had results, we're scoring goals, AK.
I think a big part of that, and I think we're really unlucky now, aren't we, with the naming the European squad. I think Hadji was a big part of that. I know GB's a big fan of him. I think Hadji's is a great influence in the forward line. I think we've been unlucky with the likes of Insala having to drop it. You looked into that? No, I think he isn't available. Obviously, Danilo becoming unavailable because, well, he wasn't included in.
And Salah ain't our homegrown player, mate.
Aye, I thought that. So he's kind of limited on his options, what he's got to pick for the team. Regardless, he would have loved to have the guys as available. It just means our bench is not going to be strong, Ox, and I'm a wee bit concerned of that. If things aren't going as well as what we hoped and we need to change certain players if they're, running on empty, then who's he going to be bringing on? It's going to be the likes of McCausland, a Rice, and that's where the quality drop off is going to be apparent between the two teams. But I'm hoping it doesn't get to that extent.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be one of these games that you're going to have to concentrate. You can't make mistakes, and you will have to change it. That engine room's not going to get through 90 minutes. As much as you try, you will have to try and refresh it. And we haven't got a lot of options there when you see it. But at least one midfielder shot. But Igaman can get replaced with Dessers right or wrongly. and we're short on either side, Cortez and Matondo, how fit are they? They're fit enough to come over that place. I don't think Cortez might be involved. I'm not sure. I think Matondo could be, but you ain't got a lot of confidence in him. And there's an argument after one cameo, you'd rather see Finlay Curtis, as bizarre as it seems, GB.
Aye, Ox, I would. If he's on the bench, then again, a better opportunity to get out there and get experience, Ox. I would have no qualms with it. By the way, see if Nisala could have started that game, Ox, I would have put him in as well. The boys, like I say, shown it, and I think it's the manager's probably got to have a kind of a wee bit of a rethink on. He's kept saying about the players weren't ready and all the rest of it and stuff like that, but it's proven Igaman, he was kind of forced into playing Igaman, and then he was forced into playing the Salah, and look what they've done. We've got pace there. You know what I mean? We've got boys that want to take shots and goal. I mean, that's what we need against these bigger teams, Ox. Now, granted, it might be open to criticism, obviously, if there's any bad results with these young boys in there. But what I say is, as Sue said last night, how are you going to know if you don't give them a shot?
Aye, as mental as it is, AK, I mean, that point that South Side mate is necessity. You bring them in, you could say the same thing about Jeffy, because if Rick Fan would have stayed fit, would he have got these opportunities and developed as quickly?
Yep, you're right, and with the same with Bassey, when he get the opportunity, with the same with Patterson, when he get the opportunity, you don't know how good these boys are going to take to the first team, because you can see it from the manager's point of view. He's got to try and protect them, because he doesn't want them to expose them, too early, to see where they can handle the pressure. And that's why the likes of Walter held back Barry Ferguson for as long as what he did. It was for his own good. But obviously he was bursting a gut to try and make an impression in the team. The boys have got to sink or swim. It's dead easy to blame managers for holding youth back. I think the crowd's got a lot to do with it as well, Ox. See if we'd a crowd were more forgiving for the opportunities of youngsters. It's all very well shouting for youngsters to get included until they make their mistakes, and then you're getting groans. You heard it there on Sunday with Min. The young boy's nervous, he made a mistake, but thankfully it didn't cause a goal. If that had caused a goal, would you have heard people shouting for his inclusion in future games? Probably no. And that's the problem that we've got. So it's a fine balancing act, but the youngsters have come in and they've all done well, to be fair to them. So good luck to them.
Aye. Aye, you need a bit of luck in football. And if you think about it, it's somebody's misfortune, GB, they might get injured or they might get dropped because of a run of bad form, and you get your chance, mate. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Well, look at the Cortez situation, Ox, you just said with Curtis. I mean, maybe this is the moment. You're saying about boys wanting to grab shots. There's no better moment for these young boys to try and push in and get a kind of first team place. Or, like I say, run about the squad at least, you mean? So, Cortez seems to be a boy that breaks down pretty easily now, as it stands. I worry about shelling out money in the summer for the Ox. And like I says, we've got a boy Curtis there that's probably, like I says, fit and available. And he's probably been fit and available most of the time in that B team. Granted, he's not probably had the same kind of exposure, but again, a lot to pay out for a guy that's maybe got to be again on the medical table. And we've got a young boy there eager to try and show his talent. So I would maybe go down the route of, like I says, persevering with Curtis now, and then, like I says, Guillaume Cortez's maybe like the kind of Danilo situation, that he's needing maybe time just to get fit and well and like I say, more robust before they start introducing him back into games.
I think the frustrations, young McCausland seems to be turned into a bit, but he hasn't played well this season. It looks as if he's a boy that's void of confidence to me. AK, yeah, because listen, we've seen him play and have some decent games, so where he's going to make it for us, with us, is open for debate. Well, I think we wish him all well and we've got a lot of time for him, but however, some of his performances, Dundee at Ibrox when he came on, but he was so poor. And then I don't think he was even great against that opposition. Yeah, he got the goal and he was okay in the second half without being outstanding, but his first half performance was dreadful. You know, and it was his touch, his movement, everything was wrong. He just looks as if he's a boy that's void of confidence and might need a change. AK.
But that's what Ibrox can do to you, though, Ox. You've seen it yourself with many youngsters over the years. You know, it can swallow you up. You either embrace it or you sink. There's no in between. So McCausland was a boy last year where he came into the team and it was a breath of fresh air. We knew his background, we knew his history, his culture, brought up in the club, and your beauty. Every single Rangers supporter was all for him. You turn the clock forward a year, and all of a sudden he's no good enough to be in the team, and it's, you know, then you're looking at which below him. Archie Stevens could possibly get a shot in there. Now you've got Finlay Curtis bursting into the peripheries of the team, and you've also got Zach Lovelace. You know, so if they're going to be boys developing better than McCausland, then sorry, the team and the club's not going to wait, and you're getting your form back, your confidence back. This is fit by kill or be killed. It's all about starting jerseys and making the best influence you can on the team, and the only way you can do that is starting in the team and playing well, as young Barron did at the start of the season as well, Dave.
Oh, but interesting. Well, I think he needs a change, and I think this is what you get with people having played enough football. I know he's had an injury this year, an ongoing issue at times, and he's maybe not played enough, but this is where you can stunt people's development, and I think the boy King's a classic example of that. I don't think we've been fair with that young boy for his whole career. Now he'll basically leave either this window or in the summer, and I don't think we've helped him one iota. Yeah, and he should have went sooner, in my opinion, because he was never going to. You know, several managers have not given him the opportunity, so they obviously don't think he's good enough. But it's a fine line, mate. And young McCausland came in and he gave us a wee bit of spark last year, and he's not had that form this year. It happens. I suppose better players than him, GB, have bad spells in their career.
Aye, Ox, the thing I've noticed about McCausland is he didn't look as though he wanted to take on a man at the weekend there. And I mean, it's Fraserburgh. He should be running riot against him. I mean, at that level, especially the level that we're wanting. I mean, and he just looked as if, like you're saying, the confidence thing didn't really look as though he wanted to take on a guy. I think that's the whole thing with him and King. The two of them are probably screaming out, like you says, Ox for a loan, and whether his teams will take them. But like you says, seasons ago, King should have just went and said, no, I need to go and find a team. I need to go and get out and loan and get game time. And then McCausland's getting to this point as well, that, as AK said, we've got Zach Lovelace and all that back in, getting fit. Zach Lovelace was he did McCausland, and it was only because of him getting injured that McCausland got his shot, you know what I mean? And now, like he says, if he's not got to show it, then Zach Lovelace will be eager to get his shot back, Ox. But granted, by the way, he wasn't actually great at the weekend either.
I don't know if he'll be raised long term. I don't know what you think, AK. I think there's talk about him moving back this summer. I think his contract's up as well.
It's going to be decisions that they're going to have to sit down and evaluate probably a lot of all the academy players there, because they're obviously dissolving it. So they need to think what's best. They've got to be selfish. What's best for their own career and what's best for the club. You know, so there's got to be discussions individually with all of them. We'll obviously put a couple on loan already, hopefully to develop them, to then come back, you know, as improved players, to then push for a first team start. Because they're no young lads anymore, you know, 15, 16, 17-year-old, that's a young lad. See, when they're hitting their 20s, 21, 22, that's not a young lad. That's a boy that should be into your first team. And if we're not developing them to get to that level, then the boys have then got to, you know, decide, am I going to hang about here for 10, 15 years for being a boy, a Robbie Fraser or a Robbie McCrory or that, you know, waste my career, so to speak, or move on and maybe even get the opportunity to come back in future years. This is decisions that the players, the agents, the football club have got to make for the benefit of everybody.
It's difficult, mate. Sometimes these decisions can be tricky, mate. And, you know, as you say, we talked about Kent Morelos earlier on, nobody gets all the decisions right. And there's a lot of time the criticism comes in hindsight, you know, because we all think you should do this, do that. But unless you're in there and you know the full story, you know people's contracts, or the terms they've got, we never know that, mate. And we shouldn't, you know, because that's between them and the club. Yeah, even as fans, we shouldn't get all the details of somebody's personal contract. You wouldn't want everybody knowing what you earn what you get, AK, would you?
No, I certainly wouldn't, particularly the VAT man.
Don't like the sound of that.
And by the way, they'll be looking at GB's birthday cares, probably, I know.
Oh, they better be full tomorrow morning. I'm looking for spending money.
He's on the guy who shakes his birthday cards before he opens them, mate. You know, and if nothing flutters out, he's like away, isn't he, GB? Let's be honest.
Aye, it's the same when I open my Christmas presents. It's Clay's. They get pushed to the side and looking for the toys.
Yeah, but different toys you're looking for now, innit?
No, that's it, mate. That's it. Don't know what to say in there.
Right, okay. So, listen, there's been a lot of criticism with opposition. They play this 3-4-3 with the two in the middle, yeah? And the teams are saying that there's no control. Similar to some of the criticism we've gave to your team away from home, that when they play at Old Trafford, the other teams are controlling the midfield because they've got 3 against 2. Now, because they play the 3 at the back, it's a big wide park, they're exposed, and the people play the balls down the channel. So sometimes we might have to go more direct on Thursday night and get the ball up the park. Because it's no really our style, but it's horses for courses. And for all the criticism the manager's had, AK, and a lot of it deserved, he's got his tactics pretty spot on in Europe, hasn't he?
He sure has. Aye, he has. What is it, 7 away games without defeat? So if we carry that on, a wee look at the bookies odds. Anybody looking for a flutter, Rangers are 71 to win tomorrow night, and if you fancy a draw, it's 72. A double chance of Rangers or draw is 74, so maybe an interest in that for the Ox. But no, you're right. If we can take advantage of the wings, because they'll push up on us, young Diallo and maybe Garnacho or that. We've got Hoyland maybe as a target man in the middle. But if we can expose the wings, it could be a good night for the likes of Czerny or Bujrami or that, you know. So hopefully we can exploit that, pal.
Aye. GB.
Aye, that's my kind of concern when AK's rhyming after the types of players. These boys are very, very talented, Ox, and on their night, like I says, they can destroy teams. I just hope that we are tactically sound. Tav is just back as well. That gives me a wee bit of concern as well with the pace that might be getting hot with him. But again, he might have one of these European nights where he drives forward, Ox, and hits a shot and scores, or he gets in the box and gets a header and all that carry on. So, but again, we can't be silly. We've got to understand it's Man United we're playing. I mean, as much as it was with Spurs as well, they're going to come at us and they'll be eager to kickstart their kind of bad run of results, Ox. So, and if they get a good enough result against us, then it will. I mean, like I say, it won't really matter too much to us because the expectation is that we will get beat. But for Man United, like I say, it might appease their fans. We getting a result.
Ox.
Yes, mate.
Well, I was going to say, see, just on the back of what GB's saying there, see if you look back at their recent results, their recent best results Man United have had are away performances at Arsenal, where they won 2-1 in the Cup after extra time penalties, and they also got a 2 each draw at Anfield.
Say that again. They won 2-1 at the Cup after extra time and penalties.
Oh, is it? Aye. Well, that's what it chalked up as, a 2-1 victory, wasn't it? Well, that's what it came on my list, and then I remembered they won in penalties. So it was 1 each, obviously, but because they won in penalties, they put 2-1. But anyway, they also got a 2 each draw at Anfield, right? And I heard a Man United podcast, and the guy's criticism of Man United is they weren't a good possession team, right? And they like to sit back and play the kind of counter-attack football. They'll not get away with that at Old Trafford, just the same as we don't get away with that at Ibrox, because we mainly dominate teams in possession. But you think back to the Celtic game there in January the 2nd, Celtic actually had more possession that day than us, but we battered them on playing on the counter-attack. See if we could put in that sort of performance, we've got every chance of going down there on Thursday, even though it might sound mad to, anybody listening in about the financial, differentials between the two clubs and the standard of player on the park. If we can put that game plan that we done against Celtic, I think we can get down there with every chance.
I'm going to give you something else. I just happened to have a quick look at the French league. Yeah, because I was looking for some French letters to put in GB's birthday card, right? And right, so 4th, 5th, and 6th, yeah, is Monaco, Nice, and Lyon, yeah. Yeah, Nice are 1 point behind Monaco, who beat an EPL team tonight. Yeah, is this myth about the EPL busting? Now, we know their top teams are their top teams, but the whole league, is the myth busting?
DB, you take that.
I don't know. I would say to a certain extent, I think a lot of them get, how do you say, promoted up too much. You mean bummed up too much? I think it's the money that helps them a lot of the times. I don't think half of these teams with a fan base, size of stadium and stuff like that would never get to where they've got to without the Premier League money. And it's proven, like I says, the European competition shows it up. When you start seeing them play against, like, say, Italian teams, Spanish teams and stuff like that, you see a lot of them getting ripped apart, Ox. So, in recent seasons, I think we've probably been going in fearful, but as long as we've got a decent team and a good work ethic in it, as AK says, we put in a performance similar to the Celtics. It's all to play for, Ox. I mean, at the end of the day, it's 11 v 11.
Yeah, of course, that's an AK speech in me. I was saying, come on, I wish it was I wish it was Thursday night now. But look, if we go in there with attitude, we can't say we go in there with all these Rangers supporters, we go and we play, and we play what we should do, because my team's not like that anymore. We might get in that part of the morning night with no Rangers supporter on the pitch.
Aye. But they're going to be plenty in the stands, though. For what I gather, what was our allocation? 3,000. But I think it could be double, treble that. That's actually heading down to Manchester. So they've got a, it's all about belief. It's all about the game plan. Come on, let's slip. We've got something special up our sleeve. It's maybe the Harry Potter in them kind of talking there, but if we can implement some sort of game plan to come away from there, a draw's no a disaster. It's a pretty good result, but a win's even better.
Maybe with that clearance Dessers had in the first couple of minutes, he might be playing him at centre half.
Aye, possibly. What a miss that was, wasn't it? That was right in front of me. I couldn't believe it. My dad couldn't see it, but I described it to him. I know. McCausland actually stopped it. He's on the byline, and he actually tried to header it back across. My dad couldn't even see it, but I was describing it to him. I was like, God's truth, man. But aye, I think I think we've got nothing to fear. Just go down there with that game plan.
Aye, but we'll see, mate. We'll see where it goes. I'm looking forward to it, GB. Look, we're moving into the last part of the show. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you. Why don't you give us a call on 01...
Yes, I look forward to it. And listen, the odds, I would imagine when this group was drawn, and if you looked at the individual games, we wouldn't have been 71 AK, would we?
Oh, God, no. I think you'd be 20-1 at least. But at 71, I might have a wee bit of that. I'll certainly be having a wee bit of the draw or Rangers result.
I was going to go for that, but Southside's covered it, so I'm not worried.
He's a Jonah.
I wonder what the odds would have been for the qualification as well at the group. Or through the league.
You'd have a good run for your money. I'm not saying you'd get 20s or that, but we would have been what? I don't know when that was drawn. 3-1 maybe to get the group. Would that be fair, EK?
We are talking Spurs, Man United, Lyon, Olympiacos won the conference, didn't they? So I think you're talking four teams above us. You would say on paper, but I think we're punched. Well, we're sitting 8th now. We're actually splitting Man United and Spurs. Won 11 points now, so we're in a good position, and we play USG at home the next week. So we're in a really, really good position.
Aye. Arguably next week could be a bigger game. Is it next week or the week after? 2 weeks? I need to check that out, mate. I
think it's next week.
I'll check that out, mate. But aye, listen, we go looking forward to this game. Yeah, we're optimistic, but we're realistic. Yeah, we know we're a bit short in our squad. Yeah, and that's one thing that the support haven't really made. We haven't really made a lot of injuries, GB. Because we recognise it's first team players that's playing. People have come in and they're signed with the Rangers, so they should be able to play.
Aye, but like you says, half of them are constantly on a treatment table. I mean, Matondo's one there that's a pacey winger. The modern 8 would be ideal against a team like Man United to hit in the counter-attack. But again, we can't get him game time. When he does show up, he shows it in flashes and stuff like that. So again, it's another big wage sitting doing nothing. And it's a hindrance to us, especially these competitions, because we need all the help we can get, especially you were saying earlier on about there's going to need to be changes in this game on Thursday night. I mean, 60 minutes, 70 minutes. If we're running full pelt and constant counter-attacks and stuff like that, Czerny, as said before, he gets tired. I mean, Yilmaz, he runs himself into the ground a lot of the time. So, Enigman, he can't keep, chasing shadows all night if he is going to be doing that. So, the only good thing is, like it says, we'll go to Essers there to come on, because he seems to show up in the European competition as well. But aye, we're hindered, Ox. We're hindered, definitely hindered.
If you think about it, mate, he should have scored the winner against Spurs, shouldn't he? Yeah? And yes, no.
Aye, definitely. Aye, right at the end of the game there. I was going to ask you to you, the listeners too. Do you think Igamani will fancy his chances up against Harry Maguire?
In a word, yes. I think Igamani fancies his chances against anybody, mate. And if he doesn't put it through his legs, he'll be disappointed, won't he? GB.
Aye, we cheeky nutmeg and then nutmeg that keeper and all. He's a bomb scare and all, by the way. That's the saying. They two are definitely to be go at, Ox. You mean? It's just we Diallo. I just really hope that he has an half night, because he seemed to have had a wee bit of form and I think a lot of them are pinning their hopes on him. But again, it's up to us to keep him quiet, and I think, like I says, we've got probably players in there that can, like say Raskin and stuff like that, can hopefully keep him quiet, Ox.
No, I don't want Raskin near him, mate. I think that's Jeffrey's job, mate. Yeah, and if it is the Red fan, like you said, it'll be him to start it. But if Jeffrey plays him like he did against Coombe and gets close and doesn't let him get under control and run at, which he learned against Coombe, mate, he showed his development there for me. He's not going to run away from Jeffrey, but if he lets him run at him, it's going to be different. That makes sense, AK?
I think you're right. I think we'll do our homework. The middle of the park, I think Raskin, and young Barron, they'll be busy running about. Fernandez, don't let them play. Don't give him a second in the ball. But I think you're right. Yefty probably backed up with Ridvan. They'll take care of Diallo. Tavernier, could it possibly be Garnacho on that other side? Barron, I think he'll need to come across and maybe double up if he's having a problem there. But it's up to the creative players also to pose problems for them. And if we've got chances for set pieces, and I think we've got to make the best of the opportunities as well, and get shots at goal. See, as GB was talking about, see that on Anna. See if Cherny has a couple of flyers at goal, look for a spill, Agamani running in on it. That's what to do.
Yeah, I think he's a goal he was signed because he can kick the ball. I think they forget that goals are meant to catch it, no kick it. GB.
Aye, Oxen, he's no great at set pieces either, which is hopefully Big Balogun's area. Hopefully he'll be taking that bit of form that he's had into this game and get a wee header as well, Ox, near the end of the game, just to secure a wee win.
Maguire, for all his faults, mate, if they get set pieces that he comes into his end in the other team's box, mate, he has a threat.
Aye, I know. But again, the other side of that is that he is a bomb scare, I know. So, like I says, we've all got our weaknesses, Ox. It's just like I says, we just need to have an amazing night, and hopefully they have a kind of an offish night. I mean, and I think, to be honest, like I says to you, that their manager's stubborn now. He's wanting to stick to his tactics, Ox, and get this bedded in. And hopefully that's something that, like I says, Comon's shown me all these videos that he does before these matches, that he's showing them where they're making their mistakes.
That'd be interesting, mate. Listen, if we can turn them over, and I don't think they're long away that the manager will start getting scrutiny, if that makes sense, AK. Because if you don't win games at any club, especially big clubs, it turns quickly.
Aye, and what about the statement he came out with the other day? I mean, people are quick enough to jump on Clement's kind of statement. Worst ever, Man United.
It'll be interesting to see where the dressing room reacts to that, mate.
Exactly, aye. How would you feel if you were sat there as a player in that dressing room, being accused with your own manager, you're possibly in one of the worst ever Man United teams? I don't think that exactly inspires confidence. Maybe he's looking for the reaction out of them to say, I'll prove you wrong. Maybe it's that, a wee bit of reverse psychology, but to say that in front of the media, no, I think you keep that in-house. You wouldn't hear the likes of Sir Alex or Walter or that saying that about any of the players. They like to protect their players. And probably that's the way it was done then. And then they would probably slaughter them behind closed doors.
Aye. Well, the media are always trying to draw stuff at you. It's funny, he came in it was a breath of fresh air, and I think the honeymoon period's gone quite quickly. Even the games at Old Trafford, Anfield and the Emirates, mate, they actually, in 90 minutes, they never won any of them. So the run of form's pretty poor, mate. Southampton won game in 6, I think, in 90 minutes.
Yep. Sitting in 13th in the English Premier League. Was it 24 points behind Liverpool? And they're only 10 points above the relegation spots, Ipswich. So either they've got problems. So this is what I mean about us taking advantage of their problems and use the crowd the way some our opposition come to Ibrox and turn the crowd on us on occasions. You know, we could possibly do that to them. Plus, we'll have an army of Rangers supporters out singing them for the start of the game.
Yes, I'm sure we will, mate. I'm sure we will.
Do you think?
Right.
Do you think Liddles will be settled out again?
Cleared it, you mean?
I sent you that one a few years ago, didn't
Aye.
I?
They're all in there getting to check it and all that. Oh my god. By the way, I wouldn't put it past for a day out, Ox, you know what I mean? It's not that far.
Oh, it's funny, that seems as if it was yesterday, 2008, aye. And that show, there was nothing left but baby chap. They must have knew you were popped in, AK.
A wee bit of tequila rose for Big Stevie in Southside.
I'll give you a tip, mate. See, if you get them, you go to the McDonald's and get a strawberry milkshake. You don't know the difference, mate. Saves you a fortune.
Aye, probably.
Aye. I used to look forward to Armour. I don't. On Sunday's game was a non-event, and I don't. I mean that with the greatest of respect to Fraserburgh, but it was a non-event. But last Wednesday was a good performance. We don't know how good because it's hard to judge with that Aberdeen team. However, I'm looking forward to Thursday, and I hope I'm looking forward to it isn't misplaced. What we used to, gentlemen. AK.
Okay, of course. Looking forward to a big game like that. Aye. You cast your mind all the years ago for Leeds, Ox. I know you were there. I know you got a wee bat in the mouth and off your experience, but boy, what an experience. See when the English write us off and we come down there with a sign intent, a game plan, and we love being the underdog in some of these occasions. And if we can go there and come away with a result for all the thousands of bears that's coming down to Foley, then that's good enough for me. But it's up to the players. It's all there for you. All there for
The
them.
lips were perfect, mate. The right hand jaw wasn't so good.
Well, it didn't matter, we won.
It was worth it, mate. It was worth it.
The best shiner you've ever had.
No, no shiner, mate. No shiner, mate. Them who laugh last laugh longer, but it was a dullion, mate. It was a dullion. But GB.
Aye, Ox, I can't wait. Granted, we've got some injuries, Ox, but it's been good with the weekend's game that we've been able to rest a lot of them as well, and it means that we're probably going into it with our best 11 fit and available. You mean and fresh, Ox, that they've probably had a wee bit of a rest before it. I mean, usually these games they come around like the Tottenham game, it was coming around thick and fast just after a hard game. So now I think we're in a better position, but like you, I'm that kind of way that the kind of stars are aligned for us to have a good night. And that the previous games, I felt as though we were expected to get beat, whereas this time I'm expecting us to get something for the game. So usually when that happens, you don't get what you want, Ox. It's always better to be kind of surprised in a sense, but. No, I think that says we should go down there, and our starting 11, I think, can do something, Ox.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many bears will be heading there. I mean, we're in fan zone in a European away tie. That is very unusual, yeah. Is it something you thought about, mate? GB? You thought about it?
Aye, Ox. I mean, I've thought about like going down. I've been thinking about like obviously getting tickets. I don't know what's going to. Like I says, there's a lot of jiggery pokery going on in my family now as well. So I don't know if there is things happening behind the scenes to go down and see the game. But no, I'm like I says, I've took the rest of the week off, Ox. So I says I might take a wee trip down.
That's the economy slowing down then.
Aye, that's it, mate. Aye, there's no doubt they're watching what's going on. But I know, like I say, Ox, with a fan zone and stuff like that, I might just go down and like take the chance and maybe trying to get a ticket. But I've heard, Ox, that like says fans that have tried to get even the Man United end when they're asking for passports and stuff like that, Ox, if it's a Scottish passport, they're getting knocked back for it. So I might.
There's no such a thing as a Scottish passport.
Oh. Well, your address, sorry, Ox, sorry. I went I'm showing my young age there.
And hopefully,
I was going to ask, when did we win independence?
I don't make many political points on here, but I hope there's never such a thing as a Scottish passport. Just me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the independence vote get quashed.
Your Scottish address. It's getting knocked back with your Scottish passport.
We know what you mean. But it just shows you the size of the club and the size of support we've got, Ox, when we can do things like that. You know, travel in numbers like we do, the 200,000 that went to Manchester, and they estimate it. I think you could be talking as much as 10,000 heading down the M6. So I
think it'll be more than that, mate.
Could well be, aye. Could well be.
I think it'll be more than that. Yeah. But aye, Manchester, like Southside, I think when you don't win these games, it becomes, and that was always what could have been, you know. Yeah, what could have been. So Manchester, we go there, we hope we get a result, you know. And we've been there twice since. I mean, we've played them twice since, is that right? The first one before that. Once after it. We've been back once and we've been there before. But
we've only played them 5 times in our history, Ox. That right? We played them in a friendly, obviously, this year, and 4 times before that.
We played them in their friendlies at that, mate. We had the 74 game down there where there was a slight disagreement, yeah.
Right.
All right, we played them before that. We played them at Ibrox before that, and I think we've been down there before in the past. And obviously, we played them at Ibrox when Cantona got sent off. We beat them 1-0.
Aye. Can I remember that? With a 0-0 draw against them, and 4 losses.
And if I remember right, that game, and I'm getting the memory bank here, and if anybody's out there could quickly phone in, do I not remember Big Broadfoot getting brought down for a Stonewall penalty kick in the last couple of minutes? And I'm sure it was Big Broadfoot with a Stonewaller. And that night when we drew nothing each, by the way, it was backs against the wall and it was a defending performance. But however, we should have, I think it was Broadfoot. I think it was.
I'll doubt your superior knowledge.
No, maybe I'm dreaming it like Southside and he's Andy Kennedy, but
I just hope we do it, Ox, just for the sake of, like, say, we're saying about the English media writing us off, and that Jamie O'Hara, I mean, he just seems to always write off Rangers for some reason. And every time we keep. Have
you know what to GB?
Oh God, I know what's behind that, but I'm saying I just love it every time we keep proving him wrong, especially the European nights when we keep popping up with results. He's all quiet and all that, and the Bears are quick to phone in and game it tight. So I hope it's another night to show how poor this, like you say, this English Premier League is, because he seems to put it on a big pedestal that it's this, that, and the next thing. But see, like you said earlier, Ox, it's no.
They market it well and they talk their league up, you know, and their media work hard at promoting it. And in fact, it's the complete opposite of what happens in our game. AK.
Aye, no half, but that's to suit one particular club up here, as we all know, and we all see through it. I thought Albert made a lot of excellent points last night about the academy team and trying to get the players out of Scotland. I don't know how we could be able to do it, but if we develop them through clubs that we've got a relationship with, like say Hamburg in Germany, obviously Bruges, Clermont's got connections there. We've got connections in Holland. If we can develop our players through their clubs and use their relationships through them, even England, Arsenal, Chelsea, we've historic relationships with them as well. But it's all about the benefit of us now, innit? Just as you say, they £1 billion contracts with Sky, and we're accepting a £10 million deal or something between 40 odd clubs. Aye, no bother. Thanks very much, Doncaster.
I've done a great job.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic for one club.
Aye. See, when you went to the game on Sunday, we know, I mean, there was no reason for that game to be played on a Sunday afternoon, was there?
TV schedule, probably.
No, but there was no reason for it to be played.
No.
Sunday afternoon. What do you feel about traditional 3 o'clock on a Saturday? Because we hardly see it, do we? Obviously, one, it's very making because we're always playing a Thursday night, but whenever it seems to be, I think is it working for the game? TV audiences, aye, but the way it's gone now, everybody will maybe shortly be able to watch the Rain Club, that the deals might be changing, but what do you think? Is there a traditional kick-off time, or is that just a total thing in the past?
I think for TV is come in, they've dictated a lot of things to the clubs rather than the other way about. I think the season ticket holders have been left behind. I think the VAR introduction is all about your armchair fan, and there's a lot of factors in there where the season ticket holder, your guys that actually attend games home and away, they're getting left behind, and it's only when they don't attend games when they realise they might have a problem.
Are they revenue streams, particularly the APL, or are they just there as extras to make up the drama of the game?
Basically, they're just there as an atmosphere. Without the atmosphere, there's nothing there. Collectively, see for support nationwide, maybe across Europe, maybe the Germans were the pioneers at this thing. If they started, not attending their games, you might see a different attitude coming for the broadcasters and all that then.
I'm not too keen on the Germans starting anything. You know what happened the last couple of times?
The last time I speak at Nuremberg.
But I get your point. Same question yourself, GB. What's your take on it, mate?
Aye, Ox. I mean, the early days of me going was a lot of Saturdays, like 3 o'clock and stuff like that. It was the thing I enjoyed, going to the football with my brother, having a couple of pints before the game, and then when the 3 o'clock kick off and a couple of pints after and stuff like that. And it's sad. And in recent years, Ox, it's just been, like I say, Sunday after Sunday. Now, granted, we were obviously in Europe and stuff like that, but it's I would much rather see more Saturdays at 3 o'clock, Ox. I think if you've had even a decent government, I mean, they'd be saying like they want people in pubs buying taxable goods. You know what I mean? They're missing out on all this revenue that they can pick up on. Even like say, even Hampden itself, Ox, and the amount of money they charge for their food and stuff like that. If they had games that were on Saturdays, you'd have more boys not wanting to drive. They'd leave the motor and get a train in, buy a bit of food in the stadium, more pints again, sell alcohol. It's all this kind of stuff they're not missing out on, Ox, and again, that's why the game's up here's void of money.
Aye, I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't get me started in the Scottish government, GB. I might get myself in trouble.
You just look at the rugby, Ox. I mean, look how well that runs and what the revenue they're taking in and stuff like that in games, and full hoosies, folk drinking pints and all that at the games. Most of them are travelling by train and using public services and stuff like
that. Do you think the football crowd are ready for alcohol?
I mean, we can. I mean, week in, week out, like it says, the hospitality is massive in Ibrox. You know what I mean? You don't see
there's a lot of drinking done in Ibrox, licensed drinking done, because there's a lot of lounges. But do you think that if you like, are we ready for it? It's not a trick question. I'm just, in your opinion, there's no right or wrong answer, mate.
No, I don't think we are. Like, granted, this is that you don't hear much out of the pubs and all the rest of any animosity after games and stuff like that, Ox, but I get there's probably like a young element in our support that I think would end up getting blazing and going into games, and then you start the whole thing where stewards are knocking folk back for going into games and stuff like that. So I think there is like you say, the full stadium I don't think could handle it now.
Very interesting. It's amazing sometimes if you treat people like adults, some people respond, but not everybody responds. That's always a problem. You've got AK in it.
Aye, true. I don't know if you've been to any English grounds or that, Oxford, GB. I've been to Goodis and that a few years ago, and they actually served down there. You know, so where's the difference between
every English ground is served down, but you can't have it away from the concourse, mate. That's the law.
Aye. But the fact they actually have it on the kiosk, you know, you can have a beer.
It'll be the same at Old Trafford tomorrow, mate, but you'll not be able to take
Aye.
it away from the concourse, no?
Mm-hmm. It just comes down to trust, doesn't it? And the authorities, police, whether you can behave yourself. A couple of pints will probably no hurt not anybody, but it's just one of them. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Try to think what English grounds have not been to. Tap ones.
Mm-hmm. So they've all got them then? Is that a done
I've
thing?
Not been in New Spurs ground, mate. I've not been in New Spurs ground.
I believe you could get a pint of that there.
Yeah, they're all the same, mate. Even the lower leagues, mate.
Aye. And yet,
look at
Scotland, no.
Look at that guy. It says it was doing the thing, mate. You want some? I mean, he's standing at the side of the ground with a pint. He's on.
You got no fans.
Aye, as an entertainment business, you know. Yeah, but then again, when you look at the fixtures and the scheduling in Scotland, mate, and the times, the two busiest months, arguably the worst times for weather, December, January, obviously also the worst time economically for fans. Yeah, because of the Christmas and New Year holiday. You know, I don't know. I just don't get. But that's a whole show on its own. Maybe international break will get us all, and then we'll maybe have a whole debate. And I might let it all be around at Scottish football. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, you'll have a list, all, Bill.
In fact, if we started time half at 8 o'clock, nobody would have to speak to about 5 to 10. Good night, wouldn't it?
That'd be him up to the tune. But what was that? Nine games in January we've got to play, and it must have been about 8 or 9 in December we had to play there as well. 17 games in 2 months. I wonder they're back feet.
I've got to say, there's something I think the Players' Union would get involved. The people will say they get well paid for it. I get that. But you've got a responsibility. It's a contact sport, professional sport, you know. There's some of the things that's happening. I agree with you, but there's too much football. And then people aren't getting to see the best players as regular as they should be. People will always get injured in football, GB. It's part of the game, but some of the muscles things that's happening, it's happening too often. Not just to your club.
And again, so with the games coming quick, thick and fast, you're not getting a chance to get your players healed. You know what I mean? Maybe, like you say, with Sterling having a kind of knock in his toe or something like that, then if it's not a game at the following week, you've got time for that to rest. You know what I mean? It's one of these things that you probably see more of your squad if the games were broke up more. But I think even Klopp said it down in the Premier League, Ox, that he was sick at the amount of games that they were playing. I mean, they're away in international duty as well. They're playing more games and they come back. There's Champions League now with the whole league set up and stuff like that. I mean, it's constant, and a wee bit like Albert as well, that you end up getting bored at it because there's that much on. You don't really get excited for the kind of meaningless games.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think Scotland, mate, I would scrap it 4 times a year. I think it's no work. It's a 50-year a 50-year project. It's no work. Just my opinion. I don't think there's any excitement playing teams 4 times. You used to have cup replays or cup finals, and we could play teams 6 and 7 times a season. I just think it's. I don't think it's a good product. Just me, AK.
I agree. What's the saying? Familiarity breeds contempt.
That's true, mate. Anyway, talking about that, it's that familiar time, mate. It's the last knockings of the show, so give us your last word for your good self. AK.
That for me.
Yes, mate.
Aye. Well, no, I enjoyed the show tonight with yourself, GB. Thanks to Cal phoning in as well. Everybody that's listening, hope you enjoyed the show. Come on, the Rangers on Thursday.
Yes, thanks, mate. GB, the birthday boy.
Aye, thanks, AK, if I've been on the night ways, and thanks to Bridgman for the first half, and yourself, Ox, as well, for the birthday shout-outs, and to the two of you for the education of there is no such thing as a Scottish passport. Good night.
Every day's a school day, mate.
Definitely in my head, mate. Definitely in my head.
Oh, Mrs. GB, the word we made one day, one particular evening, yeah? Remember?
Aye, it's a Gary moment, as I say.
Anyway, thanks to you two, AK. Thanks to GB. Thanks to Bridgman. Thanks to Cal. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night with the one and only Dream Team. Take it away, Old School Blue.